We like things more when we see them often. This is the mere exposure effect. It is a powerful psychological phenomenon. Repetition breeds familiarity. Familiarity breeds liking. This effect is everywhere. It shapes our preferences in subtle ways. Think about a new song on the radio. The first time you hear it, you might not like it, but then you hear it again and again. Soon it's stuck in your head. You find yourself humming along. You might even download it. The mere exposure effect is at work. This effect is not limited to music. It applies to everything from faces to food. We are more likely to trust people we see often. We are more likely to enjoy food we have eaten before. The more we are exposed to something, the more we tend to like it. This simple principle has profound implications. It influences our choices in surprising ways. It affects what we buy, who we vote for, and even who we fall in love with. The mere exposure effect has been studied extensively by psychologists. One early study was conducted at the University of Michigan in the 1960s. Students were shown pictures of faces. Some faces were shown more often than others. The students rated the faces they saw more often as more likable. Another study conducted at Cornell University in 2006 found similar results with artwork. Students were shown a series of paintings during their lectures. Some paintings were shown more often than others. The students were later asked to rate the paintings. They preferred the paintings they had seen more often. These studies, and many others like them, demonstrate the power of mere exposure. Even when we are not aware of being exposed to something, it can still influence our preferences. This effect is not limited to the lab. It plays out in the real world all the time. Think about advertising. Companies spend billions of dollars every year to expose us to their products. They know that the more we see their brand, the more likely we are to buy it. The digital age has amplified the mere exposure effect. We are constantly bombarded with information and images. Social media algorithms show us more of what we already like. This creates a feedback loop. We are exposed to the same things over and over again. This reinforces our existing preferences. It makes us less likely to encounter new ideas. This has profound implications for politics. In the past, political campaigns relied on traditional media, like television and newspapers, to reach voters. But today, social media plays a much larger role. This allows campaigns to target voters with incredible precision. Campaigns can use data to identify voters who are most likely to be persuaded by their message. They can then target these voters with personalized ads and content. This repeated exposure can sway voters even if they are not aware of it. For example, the 2024 Trump-Vance campaign used AI-generated images and targeted social media ads to reach young voters. They created fake endorsements from celebrities like Taylor Swift. They spread these images widely on platforms like TikTok and Instagram. This strategy, while controversial, leveraged the mere exposure effect to increase familiarity with their candidates. The mere exposure effect raises important ethical concerns. It can be used to manipulate people's opinions and behavior. This is especially true in the digital age, where it is easier than ever to target and influence individuals. As we move forward, it is important to be aware of the potential dangers of this effect. We need to develop safeguards to prevent its misuse. More research is needed to understand the full implications of the mere exposure effect in the digital age. How can we use this knowledge for good? How can we mitigate its potential negative consequences? These are questions that psychologists, ethicists, and policymakers must grapple with. The mere exposure effect is a powerful force. It shapes our choices in ways we may not even realize. By understanding this effect, we can make more informed decisions about the information we consume and the people we trust.